What's up, everybody? My name's AJ, and the reason I'm making my debut on YouTube is because I have a dream of changing the world, right? And what better person to take advice from? Steve Jobs, the creator of the most valuable company in the world, Apple. He said, the people crazy enough to think they could change the world are the ones that do. And I guess that makes me a little bit crazy. I guess I'm a little crazy for wanting to do that. But 6 years ago, I was wrapping up college, and I posted on Facebook. I said, I will change the world or I will die fighting. I had this dream. I had no idea how I was going to do it. No idea. I was still trying to figure it all out. I was still trying to get answers. And I was thinking, I was wrapping up college. I said, what do I really want for my life? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to do? I always had the belief that life could be anything we created it to be. Anything we wanted, right? And if I could turn my life into anything I wanted it to be, can't we turn the world into anything we want it to be? If the world could be anything that we wanted, wouldn't we want the world to be the best that it could be? Wouldn't we want the world to be as close to perfect as possible? Let me ask you, do you want a world full of war, hate, depression, anxiety, hunger, homelessness? Or would you rather have a world full of peace, love, joy, happiness, fulfillment? Which would you rather have? Which world do we want to create? I'm sitting here asking myself, it seems like an obvious answer. We would all want the love, the world full of love, peace, happiness, joy, fulfillment. That's something, it seems like a no-brainer. It's something we all want. But where are we going? What are we becoming as a world? Are we getting closer to these things, or are we getting further apart? It seems like more people are depressed, more people are getting diagnosed with mental illnesses than ever before. It seems like we're not even close to world peace at this moment. I don't really know what's going on there, but it made me tremendously sad, because what I really wanted to do is I wanted to end suffering. I wanted to end suffering because I saw people really close to me in my life. Good people with good hearts. People who would take the shirt off their back and give it to somebody who needed it. And I saw those people suffering. I saw people on the streets starving, begging for money. I saw people homeless, and it hurt me. Every time I saw these videos on Facebook or YouTube of people going out and changing lives and giving money, it made me want to cry. It did make me cry, because it touched my heart. It touched my heart to change someone's life, to give them hope. It's the greatest gift that you can give them. I didn't know how to change the world. I didn't know how. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I said, if you teach him, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach them how to fish, they'll have enough fish for a lifetime. Right? And that's exactly what it is. If I made $50 billion and I paid $50 billion to get rid of hunger, does that really solve the problem? No, because that's equivalent to giving someone a fish. We need to teach people to be fishermen. And the way that starts is with our philosophies. That's what I've learned. I figured out that the best way to predict the future is to create it. We have to create it. We have to create the world that we want to see. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Right? You could be like John Mayer, waiting on the world to change, right? But why wait when you could go out there and be the one changing it? What we need to realize is we have more power than ever before, ever. And the reason is because we are more connected than ever before. We have this device, most of us have this device that we could reach millions, billions of people at the click of a button. That's never been possible before. Think about trying to change the world in the 1800s. What are you going to do? You're going to send a carrier pigeon over to China to send a message, or, across the globe? No, it's not possible. Or you're going to send somebody on a horse-drawn carriage to go out to the coast, to take a boat ride that takes 6 months to navigate the ocean, to go send your message to change the world? No, it's impossible. This is the first time that it's possible. And we know that because we saw a group on Reddit challenge investment banks when it came to GameStop. Right? That's just a little taste of what power we have together. It's a little taste. Imagine if we all got together to change the world. If we could take on investment banks, what else can we do together? It's just to show us the power that we have. We need to realize this, that if we all do this together, we can change the world. What if we were all on the same team? Instead of fighting each other, what if we were all on the same team to create a world that we could be proud of? A world full of peace, love, joy, happiness, and fulfillment. Wouldn't that change? If everybody had this common goal in mind to make it the world this way, wouldn't the world be better? I think so. So as I was saying, you could give a man a fish, or you could teach a man to be a fisherman. And the only way to create lasting change is by developing philosophies on life. And I'll explain. I found this quote recently, probably found it within like the last 6 months of my journey. I didn't know how true it was until I read it, but it's the process that I went through. And it says, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. And it blew my mind when I read this. I was like, that's so true. That's so true. I created what I call the hierarchy of change. And they go in order, right? The first step is to change yourself. And this is how I discovered that we could change the world. The first step is to change yourself. The next step is to change your life. Most people get stuck there. Right? Most people in our world get stuck wanting to change their life. They have a dream. They give up on their dream because they don't know how to change their life. They give up, and then they live a life full of regret and disappointment. And it's really sad. It's really sad because I've seen these people, and it's really sad. But they go through life they try to change their life without changing themselves, and it's not possible. Think about it. Right? If I came home from work and I sat and I watched Netflix and I went to sleep and then I woke up, I went to work, and then I watched Netflix again. And then I did it again and again. How's my life going to change? What am I doing that's going to change my life? Nothing. If I don't do anything to change my life, what's going to change? Nothing. Nothing. Someone's not going to knock on the door and say, here's a present of $1 million. It doesn't happen. Now, is it possible to change your life without changing yourself? Yes, it's possible with luck, right? So think about people who won the lottery. How many people who win the lottery, right? Say they win $20 million. How many people do we see? They win $20 million. 2 years later, they're broke. How many people? Why? And the reason why is because they got lucky. They changed their life, but they never changed themselves. You can't keep $20 million if you don't know what a millionaire knows. How to invest, how to keep the fire going. You can't. You have to change yourself, because if your life changes and you haven't changed yourself, you're going to go back. You're going to go back. The next step in self-actualization, in change, after you change yourself and you change your life, you have the opportunity to change other people's lives. Because once you've gone through it, once you know how to do it, you know how to change other people's lives, and you can replicate it. Most people stop after they change their life, right? Because they live for themselves. I got rich, took care of my family, I bought myself a Lamborghini, I did all these things. Maybe they change a small amount of other people's lives, right? But it's mostly for themselves. And that's why I think this ties into self-actualization, because to self-actualize, you realize that you don't want to do it for yourself. You don't want to do it for yourself because at the end, when life ends, what matters? Does it matter that you made $50 billion? Does it matter? Or what really matters is the impact that you left on society. That's what stays forever. The impact. Think of these books that we read over thousands of years that we still have books. It's the impact that you leave. That's what's important. And the impact is either by extreme positive. You could have an extremely positive impact that helps you be remembered, or you could have an extremely negative impact. Which would you rather have? Do you want to have a positive impact on the world, or do you want to have a negative impact on the world? I'm hoping most people would say positive. So after you change your life, you can change other people's lives. And if you change enough people's lives, you can change the world. And the way we do that is through philosophies on life. One of my favorite speakers, Jim Rohn, you'll probably hear me over the course of these videos, you'll hear me mention him so many times. But he said, for things to change, you've got to change. For things to change, you've got to change. So let me ask you, are you living your dream? Are you living your dream? And one way to know is when you get up in the morning, the alarm clock goes off, do you go, ugh, another day? Or do you wake up and say, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready to make a difference. I'm ready to make an impact. If you're waking up saying, oh, another day, or you find yourself staring out the window, dreaming of taking a 2-month-long vacation to travel across the country in an RV. You're not living your dream. You're not living your dream. So I want to ask you, are you living your dream? And if you think I would like to challenge the people who say, yes, I am living my dream. I would like to challenge you to just make sure, because a lot of people, I've tried to convince myself that I was living my dream many times. My brain tried to convince myself because I was scared to get to here, right? So my brain was like, yeah, this is my dream. My brain was trying to convince me to settle. So if you say you are living your dream, I challenge you to just ask yourself and see if there's more. I'm challenging you to dream bigger. And if you are accomplishing that dream, then I'm happy for you. One thing I learned is seek and you shall find, right? The first step is changing yourself. How do you change yourself? How? And it starts by seeking. It starts by asking questions, right? If I want to have a lot of money, what should I do? I should study people who made a lot of money, right? Walt Disney created the Disney Empire. How? How did he do it? What did he need to think? What did he need to believe in order to do it? Mahatma Gandhi, he changed the world full of compassion, love. How? How? What did he believe? What did he believe that made him so loving, so compassionate, so empowering? What did he believe? The thing is, the reasons people are more successful in certain areas in their lives, it's because they have different philosophies. The reason why one person is more happy than another person is because they have a different philosophy on happiness. If one person has more love in their life, it's because they have a different philosophy for love than others, right? And sometimes the world can make us jaded, right? But we need to overcome that. At the end of the day, we need to change our lives because we only have 2 things that we can control. There's only 2 things that we can control. The first thing that we can control is what we think. The second thing that we can control is what we do. That's the 2 things that we have absolute control over, what we think and what we do. But how many people get stuck not even being able to master themselves? How do you expect to take control of your life out here if you don't take control of your life in here? It's near impossible. The better you're able to control your life in here, the better able you are to control your life out here. Right? So my name is AJ. I spent the last 8 years changing myself. I spent the last 8 years reading, watching videos, asking a ton of questions. I was asking, how can I be rich? How can I change my life? How can I change other people's lives? How can I be a better person every day? How can I be the best friend that I could be? How can I be more compassionate? These are all things I wanted to know. I wanted to learn how to be the best that I could be. I'm here because I want to change other people's lives. I want to change other people's lives because I believe in a world full of happiness, peace, love, fulfillment, and I think there's a lot of people out there who haven't reached it yet. And I want to see everybody reach it. I want everybody to have their dreams come true. What a beautiful world that will be if more dreams come true, if more miracles happen. And the last step is I'm hoping that by sharing the philosophies that I've learned over the last 8 years, the philosophies that I've developed for myself on life, I hope that it inspires enough people to be able to change their lives. And if we change enough people's lives, we could change the world. And just remember, together, we have more power than we've ever had before. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.